All practice pages and other materials for learning cursive are available at my Teachers Pay Teachers store at www.teacherspayteachers.com/store/Ann-Fosnight. Learning Cursive, Lesson 40, Capital P. Our next capitals begin with an undercurve at the midline. The first one we're going to talk about is capital P. And we can see, comparing capital P in printed to capital P in cursive, that they are very much alike. This one begins with an undercurve and it's slanted, but other than that, it's very much the same. It's also very much the same as a lowercase p. Capital P is the first of three letters we're going to learn that start with a undercurve at the midline. So we make an undercurve from the midline to the headline, a slant line down to the baseline, trace back up and around and touch, and we have a capital P. Around and touch. If we look at our lowercase p and we stop when we go around and touch, we really have the same letter. So you really already know how to make a capital P. We've just moved it up. It goes from the baseline to the headline instead of the descender line to the midline. As you get ready to complete your capital P practice page, remember to have your desk area clear, to be sitting up straight, have your paper properly slanted, and to write your name neatly in cursive at the top of the page. If you still haven't learned the capitals for your name, go ahead and continue to print your capitals, but do the rest of the letters in cursive. Our model of our capital P shows it starts with an undercurve at the midline up to the headline with a slant down to the baseline and trace up with an overcurve around to touch again on the slant line. If you notice, the loop's slightly larger than one space, and that's because capitals like to be those show-off letters so that we can see them. We have the training wheel letters to practice our strokes. We start at the midline and do an undercurve to the headline, a slant to the baseline, trace back up and around in an overcurve and touch. After you've trained your hand on the proper strokes, of course you'll be ready to go on down and practice them on your own. Keep in mind that you already know this letter because it's really a lowercase p without the ending. If I brought it back out right here, we'd have a lowercase p. Capital P is a cursive letter that does not connect, and so we don't have to practice a connection, but we can look at the difference between a capital P and a lowercase p. The circle is a bit larger on the capital P to help it be a show-off, and the lowercase p ends with an undercurve to connect it to the next letter. We have Pablo, Perez, Peyton, Polly, Pharrell, and Pierce. If your name starts with P, go ahead and cross one of them out and try them on your own. Trace your names and write them. Get some practice in on your capital P. Our next letter also starts with an undercurve at the midline, and it is capital B.